motion?
It's nice and accurate.
Not a good day to be going that trip.
Festivals got their fans, now they haven't had to have some.
Yeah, just about this year.
Yeah, where do you live? Once a month. Okay. Thank you. It's good here.
Morning, John.
Well, I'm diabetic, so
You're off the farm this morning, huh?
if I go low,
It was chilly.
who's been sitting in my
Last night, I was watching
Somebody big's been sitting in my chair. Yeah, it's a little low.
It does. Oh, there it is.
You didn't get your license plate, Bruce. I guarantee it wasn't me, John.
There was a new shit in there.
I'm not that good-hearted.
There it is. Oh, that's so much better.
I do a lot of that.
How was the drive over? It wasn't good.
It's just not good because it's so slow. You know, if everybody would drive 60.
Great. Me too.
Get there quicker, get out of it.
Snowy, it wasn't icy.
People pull over and laugh.
It was just snowy. That made it better.
It was beautiful.
That's how you do it.
Yes, you can. Should be a screw in the back.
Good morning. This meeting of the Berry County Board of Commissioners is called to order. Will Commissioner, staff, and guests please stand for an invocation and our Pledge of Allegiance?
Well, this morning, I'd like, instead of an invocation, to have a moment of silence. Jim Brown, Hastings Charter Township's longtime supervisor, has passed away. Certainly, I think we all had interaction with Jim over the years. He was a very civic-minded individual, passionate about his interest in recycling, and just did a lot of good for the community. So certainly want to remember him, and at the same time, we need to also keep in our hearts everyone who's suffering in California. That kind of devastation is just unbelievable, and we can certainly be very grateful for where we live and the fact that we don't have to confront those kinds of issues. So, a moment of silence, please. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. Roll call for purposes of attendance. Madam Clerk, would you call the roll?
Bassett. Here. Carlton. Campbell.
Here.
Getty. Here. Hatfield.
Here.
Smelker. Here. Tennyson.
Here.
And Jackson.
Here. Reports from state and county officials. Are there any state or county officials with us this morning that would like to address the board? Hearing none. Limited public comment. At this time, any member of the public wishing to address the board may do so for up to 3 minutes. Just as a reminder, our first public comment period is for items that you would like to discuss that are on the agenda. So limited public comment. Hearing none. Approval of the written agenda. At this time, any member of the board may ask for an item be removed from the consent agenda and placed under items for consideration. Hearing no such request, does any commissioner wish to change the agenda additionally? Hearing no such request, the agenda is approved as written. Various correspondence. Does any commissioner have correspondence they wish to share with the board? Hearing none. Consent agenda. Commissioner Tennyson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Approval of December 17th, 2024 Board of Commissioner meeting minutes. B, approval of January 2nd, 2025 Board of Commissioner organizational meeting minutes. C, approval of a grant submission to MMRMA for the acquisition of new software to fill a gap in our systems.
Is there support?
Support. Hatfield.
Motion by Tudison, support by Hatfield for all items listed on the consent agenda. Discussion is not allowed and a roll call vote is required. All those in favor vote aye, opposed vote nay. Madam Clerk, will you call a roll?
Bassett?
Aye.
Carlton?
Aye.
Campbell? Getty?
Aye.
Hatfield?
Aye.
Smoker? Tunison?
Aye.
And Jackson.
Aye. The consent agenda is approved. Presentations, we have none this morning. Public hearings, we have none this morning. Items for consideration, Commissioner Getty.
I move for the approval of transfers and disbursements. A, approval of prepaid invoices in the amount of $3,757,733.48. Support.
Motion by Getty, support by Smoker for approval of prepaid invoices in the amount of $3,757,733.48. Additional discussion. Hearing none, Madam Clerk, will you call the roll?
Bassett? Aye. Carlton?
Aye.
Campbell?
Aye.
Getty?
Aye.
Hatfield?
Aye.
Smoker? Tunison? And Jackson.
Aye. The motion is approved.
I move for the approval of claims in the amount of $144,177.53, approved by the county administrator on 12/30/2024.
So moved.
Motion by Getty, support by Tunison for approval of claims in the amount of $144,177.53, approved by the county administrator on 12/30/2024. Discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, will you call the roll?
Bassett? Aye. Carlton?
Aye.
Campbell?
Aye.
Getty?
Aye.
Hatfield?
Aye.
Smoker?
Aye.
Tunison?
Aye.
And Jackson.
Aye. The motion is approved.
I move for the approval of commissioner reimbursements mileage in the amount of $916.56.
Is there support?
Support.
Motion by Getty, support by Carlton for approval of commissioner reimbursement mileage in the amount of $916.56. Discussion. Hearing none, Madam Clerk, would you call the roll?
Bassett?
Aye.
Carlton?
Aye.
Campbell?
Aye.
Getty?
Aye.
Hatfield?
Aye.
Smoker?
Aye.
Tunison?
Aye.
And Jackson.
Aye. The motion is approved.
I move for the adoption of Resolution 25-04, resolution to adopt the 2025 to 2029 Berry County Parks and Recreation 5-year master plan.
Support.
Motion by Getty, support by Smoker for adoption of Resolution 25-04, a resolution to adopt the 2025 through 2029 Berry County Parks and Recreation 5-year master plan. Discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, would you call the roll?
Bassett?
Aye.
Carlton?
Aye.
Campbell?
Aye.
Getty?
Aye.
Hatfield?
Aye.
Smoker?
Aye.
Tunison?
Aye.
And Jackson.
Aye. The motion is approved.
I move for the approval of the agreement between the County of Berry and SVC Consulting, LLC, for the temporary assistance with Treasurer's Office operations effective January 14th, 2025 through April 30th, 2025.
Is there support?
Support. Campbell.
Motion by Getty, support by Campbell for approval of the agreement between the County of Berry and SVC Consulting LLC for temporary assistance with the Treasurer Office operations effective January 14th, 2025 through April 30th, 2025. Discussion. Eric, would you like to just give us a brief overview or update on this?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. As you know, we have a major transition. Probably a little too loud, Rick. We have a major transition in the clerk's, sorry, I looked right at you, and that's why I said the clerk's. In the treasurer's office, Sue was in place for 40 years and left a major hole in that. Kelly Shumway is coming in and is jumping in head first into things. But one of the issues I was asked is to help that transition. So we explored many options, and SVC Consulting is Sue Vandekar. And we were asked to consider, we discussed with Sue the option of bringing her back on a temporary basis to help continue working with Kelly and Lori and Faith on running the treasurer's office and bringing her up to date. Kelly comes in with a banking background, but no government experience. So how we do things, why we do things sometimes is a lot for someone coming from the outside, brand new. So this contract was put together with Sue. Sue signed off on it and is willing to jump in upon approval.
Okay.
Happy to answer any questions.
Questions for Eric?
How is it set up? Is it hourly? Is there a cap or anything like that?
Yeah, it's, if you look at it, it's an average of 25 hours a week through the end of April. That's a big time period in there because there's townships come in February, March for their taxes, send their taxes in and tie them out at that point. So there may be times where early on in the contract, she's going to work 30 hours a week. Later in the contract, she may work 10. So we set a cap of that average of 25 hours a week through the end of April.
I think it's a good transition just to go from not having experience in that office to having somebody to oversee and teach and train. That when we looked at the costs, having an outside CPA firm come in and do it, the costs were just excessively more. So this seemed like a good transition point for all of us to work through it. So.
That partially answers my question, is if we looked at other options and how we made this decision.
Yeah, we did look at other options. Dave DeHaan with Raymond, we did discuss with him the options, and they're going to be providing some year-end support anyway. But to have someone from his office sit in there and work with them, they know they have the accounting side down, but they don't have our system side down. They don't know how we do things in the office. So we looked at this as, okay, we're still going to have Raymond to help with year-end and help some of the transition, but really there's nobody that has the knowledge of our systems, how the office works, than Sue. I mean, even Lori and Faith have their portions within the office, but Sue's the only one that knows how everything works. We've also encouraged Kelly to get involved in the Treasurers Association, work with other county treasurers, but to really help that transition because they're backed up from the end of the year. Really, it was apparent that Sue was really the only one that could come in and help right away. I mean, if Sue said no, we would have found a different way, but her willingness to do that, she wants to see it succeed, so we thought that was the best path forward.
Additional questions? Commissioner Timmerson?
More of a statement. Well, Sue knows when certain reports are due with the state, and there's all kinds of things that she knows that Kelly wouldn't know or might learn the hard way, okay? So she can give her a lot of guidance on expectations, what she has to do, when she has to do it. So I think this is the best scenario of what we can come up with to try to help her get through this. So
I agree. Additional questions or comments?
It'd be nice if, as we go through this transition and we're learning, and we know that we've gone through some big transition this election, but these are very skilled positions that we elect for. And if there was more of a procedures manual so that there is a smoother transition, because we never know, every 4 years this could transition again, and so we're better prepared.
I would heartily agree with you. And the thing with elected officials,
Yeah,
you can't make them do anything. But that's something that we've mentioned to Kelly before, document, get things down in notes. The same with all the positions in that office. And we would encourage that across the county. I know that Luella and Barb and Pam have done a lot of that stuff in the administrator's office. So if someone got hit by a bus, and God forbid that happens, there's some documentation down. So, hopefully that's something they'll take to heart and put together. I know, and Sue has everything up here. So,
After 40 years, you have a lot of stuff up there. So,
but yes, I agree.
Okay. No additional questions? Madam Clerk, would you call the roll?
Bassett.
Aye.
Felton.
Aye.
Campbell.
Aye.
Getty.
Aye.
Hatfield.
Aye.
Smelter. Tennyson. And Jackson.
Aye. The motion is approved. Unfinished business, we have none. New business, we have none. County Administrator's Report.
Should have just stayed up there. Reminder that we're heading to the Coldwater Branch County Jail today at 11 o'clock. Please meet downstairs. We'll head out from there, those of you that are going. And let's see, COA is really moving forward in their building, looking at options there. So hopefully we'll have some more information here in the next month from them. And I think major issues, that's it for now.
Okay. I appreciate the reports and the updates that you're sending out as far as the first 100 days, what's going on. Very impactful just to see what's going on. The relationships you're building and the connections you're making, all good. So I appreciate that. Thank you, Eric.
Thank you.
Chairperson's report. I am all set. Vice Chairperson's report.
Nothing. Thank you.
Commissioner reports. Commissioner Tunison.
I attended Rutland last week. They adopted a silent prayer. They were on their agenda to discuss having open prayer. They decided on having just a moment of silence in the end. So then I got Hastings Charter tonight. So that's it.
Thank you. Commissioner Campbell.
I was at Assyria Township. They're trying out a new clerk down there, and it seems to be going well. I also visited Johnstown. Their fire chief has been off, Chris Joswick, I believe is the name. He had some heart problems, and he's been off, but happily he's back again, so they're very happy about that down there. And also the consumers advocates always stop by at every meeting down there and give them an update on what's happening with the solar field progress. So
Anything happening, or is it still in the planning?
no, they're doing some work down there. The biodigester, that's ongoing, getting built, and some of the clearing is going to start up somewhere, but basically it's just tempering there a little bit till the weather gets better.
Absolutely. Vice Chair Hatfield.
Hastings City Council last night, nothing particular to report there. They still have one vacancy that they need to fill, that they'll be interviewing candidates for before their next meeting in 2 weeks. Otherwise, the fun starts in the next couple of days. Next week will be busy.
Next 2 weeks will be busy. Commissioner Smelker.
Bob and I met with MSU, Scott Korpak, and I thought it was a very productive meeting, and he gave the ideas of what they're going to do going forward, and I think he's got some very good ideas. And I will bring in the handouts that he gave us and get a copy for everybody here.
Awesome. Thank you.
And I want to thank Catherine for doing Thornapple last night.
Commissioner Getty.
So I did attend Thornapple Township last night. It was a short meeting, but they had to fill a vacancy for a full-time firefighter, and that was about it.
Calm start to the year so far. Commissioner Colton.
Well, this week, so far, Castleton Township, also Carlton Township, tonight Woodland Township.
And what did I see in the paper that they're doing, or not the groundbreaking, but an open house for the new facility over in Nashville as well, coming up. So next, I can't remember the date, couple weeks, 23rd or something like that. So looks like an impressive facility. It was in the paper this week. Commissioner Bassett.
Yes, so I attended Conservation District meeting, and they're in the throes of planning their annual meeting, which is a big fundraiser, and they elect officers and things. That's on February 28th, 6:30 to 8:30 at the Waldorf. And they do have sponsorships available, and they do have like silent auction items that they are welcoming. So I'm going to get an electronic copy of everything that they gave me so that I can send it to the commissioners so you'll be aware of it if you have any people in the community who'd like to attend, or yourselves, or whatever. That's a great experience. Then I did go to both the local and the regional mental health meetings, and very welcoming group locally. They're looking at, they're at capacity in their building, so they're looking at some different options of what they can do there. So I had that discussion. And then the regional meeting, I'm learning a lot there. I don't sit on the board, right? I'm not a voting member. So, I'm just, there to observe and understand. And we do have Lorraine Lindsley from our local mental health board who sits on that board on our behalf. So she's a great representative out there for us. And then I attended the beginning of the Yankee Springs meeting, and Rochelle Smith came, which was really nice. The people welcomed her, and she gave an update on what was going on at the Capitol, and that was nice to have her there. And then I was not able to attend the Orangeville meeting, but Vivian knew it, so I'll be at the next one.
Hopefully our leadership in Lansing is excited about having control of the House back over again and being able to move forward with some things that they have been stonewalled on the last couple of years.
Yeah, well, and she's assisting Matt Hall, so she's got a position there in the leadership. So, she's excited about it, you can tell.
Absolutely. Commissioner Hatfield.
One thing I should have mentioned that was brought up at the city council meeting last night, Birch Fire has had a truck out of commission due to some structural issues. It was a tanker pumper truck, and that has been disposed of, and a brand new unit acquired and is now in service. So they're back up to full strength as far as equipment goes.
Any conversation on the new fire department or building they were talking about last year at one point?
It's still
expensive.
Yes, that's a good way to put it. It's still needed, desired, and hoped for, but they just haven't figured out when they're going to be able to move ahead with it.
Okay. Thank you. Limited public comment. At this time, any member of the public wishing to address the board may do so for up to 3 minutes, and this public comment period is open for anything that you would like to talk about.
Dan Patton, Parks Director. Thank you for approving the 5-year master plan for us today. It created much more work for me, but that's maybe a good thing. And thank you for approving SVC as an end user with the county in the treasurer's office. I think Sue's going to be hard to replace, but Kelly will do a great job. But I appreciate that, because we do a lot, particularly with the credit card system and some of that Kelly's got to figure out. So thank you.
All right. Thank you, Dan. Additional public comment? He's just walking out on us, I guess. So.
11 o'clock. Hopefully the roads will be a lot better. We'll get a hold of the sheriff over there and see how the roads are, because there's really not a direct route to that jail over there. It's a lot of back roads and turns and not many hills, but it's kind of rural like Berry County. February 22nd is the church security conference. And what else is it, Dave? Wild game dinner.
Oh, is it the wild game dinner?
Yeah, it's my marathon day, so I'm getting old. Those get longer.
Wild game dinner. Okay.
Through the Rotary. Yeah. Okay. All right, thank you.
That'll be a busy day. Thank you. Additional public comment? No, you walked out. You can't come back in.
So. I had to let Dan know that I'm going to be working on the trail today. Rick Moore, Berry County Parks. I wish to thank you for voting in favor of the 5-year plan. Like I've said before, it's very important that we maintain our parks. And years ago, when the second park board was created, we had what I called a tsunami of volunteers eager to step up and help with the parks. And now we have a park commission who is filled with people like that who want to step up and help the parks. And we want to congratulate them and congratulate you for helping us get these things done. And looks like I'm going to go out and plow some of the trail after I get my own driveways done. But every time I've ever been on the trail during maintenance, there's always people using the trail and extremely grateful for it. And they're always wondering when it's going to be paved. And I go, donate money and it will help, because now that we're a commission, we can apply for grants, and if we can get people to donate, including my rich relatives, then we can apply that towards grant money. So everyone here who believes in going for a walk and staying healthy, please help us out and continue to make the Berry County Park System the best in the state. Thank you very much. I'm Rick Moore, not related to any other Moores, and I support this message. Thank you.
Thank you. Last chance, limited public comment. Hearing none. Other business, we have none. Commissioner comments, Commissioner Bassett?
I think that's it. Thank you.
Commissioner Carlton? Commissioner Gay?
I just want to say thanks to Rick. I mean, he really is an extraordinary volunteer for trails and parks, and to get out there and make sure that people can use the trail safely on days like this, it's above and beyond.
Commissioner Smelker?
I'm good.
Commissioner Hatfield?
Nothing, thank you.
Commissioner Campbell?
All set.
Wow. Commissioner Tunison?
I'd like to mention Jim Brown, too. He was the supervisor of where I live in my township, and it's a celebration of life for what he gave back to Berry County, his beliefs in trying to preserve and recycle. He gave me a lot of guidance. I sat in his office numerous times, and we had conversation, and I enjoyed the conversation we had, and he taught me a lot. So I want to thank him for what he gave back to this community. So,
Absolutely. He didn't always agree with me or vice versa, but we always had a very good relationship and willing to pick up the phone and talk and work things out. So, good statesman, good representative.
The Birch Board for years, Birch Fire Department.
And lastly, remember, next week we have two meetings, our normal Tuesday meeting and then our Thursday special meeting that we've divided up those interviews, so we'll have a couple hours of interviews on both of those days. In addition to county business on Tuesday, Thursday will strictly be interviews, at least from what I see at this point. So we'll have a couple interesting meetings next week. Look forward to seeing everybody and learning about the Coldwater Branch County Jail this afternoon and getting some insight on that. So thank you for attending, for all of our guests, commissioners, braving this weather out there, and we will look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you.
Are you all going to come back from Branch County, or are they going to keep any of it?
You know, I haven't checked lately, but
I don't know if they shake it up already, maybe.
They know you pretty well, don't they?
They don't want to keep me, though. They want to get me out.